Hey, what's up guys? Josh here. I'm gonna share some information with you guys today for the Skyline interior carpet. So if you guys go online to TFA Speed or Terra Firma, you're gonna see that they offer the replacement floor carpet for the inside of the R32 GTR, and this is it here. So let's unbox it and open it up and take a peek at it.
Yep.
Julia, what kind of car is this?
Skyline GTR.
Good job. High five. Being that this car was designed in the late 80s and went into the first year of production in 1989, the one thing that really makes the interior feel dated to me is this carpet, which just looks old school. So hoping that this will kind of give a nice refresh to the rest of the interior with replacing like the boots, the shifter knob, steering wheel, all the like gas pedals, brake pedal, clutch pedal. Julia, what is that?
A rug.
Is that a rug?
Uh-huh.
So let's take a look at the carpet. You can see it's all one piece molded, so you don't have to do anything to put it together. And you can see they got everything cut out, so it's designed to just plop it right in. So yeah, you can see like the seat, like right where the front seat's gonna go, it's got like the little rail area, it's all molded, so everything should go pretty good. It's got room for the wiring. Yeah, and even like the front like transmission tunnel is all kind of molded into it. So this is gonna look way better than the factory stuff, and then it comes with all your sound deadening insulation underneath. So this is all cut out to the appropriate size. So we're gonna let this sit on the garage floor because they recommend letting it sit out for a couple days so it can kind of sit into its form since it was all boxed up and crunched up together. So we'll let it chill here for a couple days, and then I'll be back. It's like Thursday right now, so we'll install this Saturday. So a couple questions I wanted to answer with buying this carpet. I want to know, number one, does it fit properly? Number two, is the color going to match? And number three, is the quality good? So for color, I talked to TFA Speed and they said that this, I think it's 801 black, that this color will match perfectly with the Nismo floor mats, which there's really not a lot of floor mats available. These are remanufactured by Nissan. Other than that, you've got the top secret floor mats, which have the gold around the border versus the red stitch. But yeah, the backing looks really nice. And it's all one piece. Here's a quick look at the factory carpet. So you can see it had a really nice seal on it, like no water's gonna get through that. Really nice sound deadening. And the carpet itself it's pretty nice. It's like it'll be pretty resistant to like dirt or if something's spilt on it. It's got like a polyester in it. So let's open the car and take the seats out, take out the center console, and get this new carpet installed. If you just need a factory carpet, let me know. If you message me if yours is all worn out and you want to replace it, I'll give you mine as long as you pay the cost of shipping. So let me know down in the comments below. So look at my $400 Nismo seat too, which I realized I had. This was an option you could buy in 1997 at the Omari factory in Japan for like $1,100, so the previous owner had purchased this. Here's a look at the carpet with the seats out. So we're gonna have to take off these little side plates, take the center console out, the other side plate, and looks like the connections for the seat belt here, and then we should be able to just pull this up and out. I just want to give a big thank you to Terra Firma, TFA Speed. If you guys are unfamiliar with them, I'll put a link in the description down below of where I bought the carpet. They're a specialty place that sells all kinds of stuff for the whole Skyline model line, R33, R34, R32 plus Sylvia and stuff like that. So they're a specialty place here in the US. They stock a lot of this stuff and they have it all shipped. So if you haven't checked them out, check them out. They're a pretty badass place. Now be careful with this box that you don't hit it or like bump into it really hard with anything, because this is for the it's a G-force sensor for the Tesla system. So if you bump that, you can ruin it and you'll have to replace it. It's pretty expensive. It's like 400 bucks. So be careful with this one. And when you're removing these caps, just keep in mind that you've got like these big, huge washers in here. So if you're prying too deep in, you'll be trying to pry the washer rather than the plastic cap. So you just barely put the flathead around the edge of this rim, and that'll allow you to pop it off. And I've went ahead and upgraded to a Link ECU standalone engine management system.
Yeah, and a standalone fuel management system. Not a bad way to spend $10,000.
Not a bad way to spend about $3,000. I've got the USB port up here in the glove box, so I can plug that in for my data logging and tuning and all that. Extremely careful, try not to break any of these old school electrical plugs so I can get this center console out. So you can see if I took the glove box out and the entire center console's out, how to loosen these metal pieces here, be able to slip the carpet up and out. And you got some wiring and stuff for the e-brake that has to be moved. So we're almost done here, let's finish this up. Alright, I've got the back seat out. The carpet can finally lift out. Just got a few clips here. Here's a look at the inside. It's nice and looks good, no rust. I don't see anything that should cause me alarm. This is where the wideband O2 sensor goes through the down into the downpipe. Wires run through here, underneath, up to the wideband sensor. It's a PLX, and then that goes to the Link ECU. And so I'm just gonna, the wire was run up and over here, so I ran it underneath, disconnected it, and kind of cleaned up the wires. Got rid of some wires that were underneath here that I don't know what they went to. Just old wires. So we're going to clean that up, get that put back on the car, and then we'll wipe all this, vacuum it all out, and put the new carpet in. Well, that's all out and clean. Inside of the car looks nice. Tons of wires, which is kind of cool. So those wires that go back for the Tesla system and all the other electronics that's in the back. Kind of interesting. I noticed these areas right here, which to me look like the car had maybe been in an accident. And you can look at like these seams here, which doesn't look like it was done by the factory. And I finally, once I got underneath this carpet, can see that this thing definitely has been hit right here, because you can see that this is bent in. So you can see that's bent in right there. And I've got some rust through the side of the car, which really pisses me off. All the way through. All those layers of metal. So I'm not sure. It's still going to be a great car. I'm just not sure how I feel about it now, because I've been trying to preserve it for so long. Not drive it out in the snow or in the winter streets to keep it from rusting, and now I've got that there. So it's like, now what do I do?
What do we do?
So let me know what you guys think about that as far as repairing it. I'm not sure if I should just cut that area out and take it to a body shop. You can see there's a layer of sheet metal behind the outer layer, which is also rusted through. So even if I could repair the outside, which is inside the car, and then how would I repair the inside? So I'm not sure if I should cut it out, maybe put in some epoxy, maybe put in some like high density weatherproof foam, and then just maybe just seal it up or something. I don't know. I'm not a body guy, so let me know what you guys think. Here's a little bit better look at that. And I'm not sure about welding right there. I don't know. I'm just stuck, so. And the biggest thing I'm worried about is like, how do you get to that inside area from out here, because this is all solid behind here, so I don't even know if there's accessibility to it, and you can't tell that the vehicle is damaged from the outside. Everything lines up good, but when you look on the inside, you can clearly see if you follow this seam line down here, like this is all flush. And as you get up here to right where this area is, you can see this bulge. So this bulge is out about 1/4 of an inch, and this is pushed in 1/4 of an inch from here forward all the way to the front, right where that A-pillar is. So it's some pretty serious damage. It's going to probably need to be put on like a frame puller. I'm not sure what they're going to want to do with it. So it's going to be probably a pretty timely and pretty costly repair, which is all coming out of my pocket, unfortunately. So kind of sucks. I'm extremely frustrated and discouraged. So I was kind of naive when I ordered this car. I ordered it just based off the listing. I'll put some pictures up the listing of where I got the car from so you guys can kind of see on the information I was going off of. But I was promised that this thing was not in an accident, which it wasn't an accident. I was promised that it was original paint, which there's panels that have been repainted. But one thing you can do to make sure, if you're going to import a car yourself, make sure you see the auction sheet. Do not ever buy a car without seeing the auction sheet, because in Japan, when cars are sold, they're sold in an auction house. The auction house has an inspector that actually does an actual vehicle inspection on the car, and they give you a truthful, honest inspection, and they'll find if there's damage. So in order to protect yourself, just don't buy a car, bottom line, without seeing the auction sheet. Otherwise, you'll end up like me. Well, I'm going to end today's video here. Unfortunately, I cannot move any farther forward with running into that rust and stuff right on the A-pillar on the passenger side. I'm kind of at a standstill because I'm not sure what I need to do to fix it, and I don't want to reassemble and put all the interior back in to just have to re-strip it all back out. So I'm going to end the video here and take the car into a body shop and get an estimate to what they think it's going to cost to get it repaired, and I won't be doing that until like the 19th of November. So that's like another week from now. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. I'll keep you posted what happens as far as the repair, and once I get that all finished up, I'll get the interior installed and show you what this actually looks like. But anyway, guys, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.